Oh, hey there. So, is
Elden Ring.
it's pretty good, right? Well, at least I think so. If my Steam record of hours played serves as any indication of that. With the arrival of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC just around the corner, I thought it was an excellent time to go back into it and maybe share my experience with you all here on YouTube. Who knows? Maybe I can even make some friends along the way. The plan is to use this character here in the DLC. Sorcerer build was quite the nostalgic choice for me, as it was the archetype that I used on the first character that I created for my first playthrough of the game. It will be fun to see what crazy new spells and weapons Miyazaki and his gang at From Software were cooking for us to use in the Land of Shadow, since the release of the main game. So, here's my current build. The Tarnished is currently at rune level 150, and these are her stats. I thought 150 would be a pretty average number to go into the DLC with, since apparently most of our powers there will be detected by some sort of collectible item we unlock once we get there, if any of the info provided to us in the interviews given by the Prophet since the announcement are to be believed. So going too high level for it doesn't seem to matter all that much. I also chose to leave out some of the major bosses of the main game to be fought at an appropriate level after I'm done with whatever we'll be doing after being sucked in by the withered arm. For equipment, no major secrets here. Pretty standard stuff. She's using best staff in the game as her main spellcasting focus. Good old Luzat's glintstone staff. For some melee action, when it happens, can bring out the Wing of Astel and its insane Ash of War, Nebula, to deal with most of our problems. This thing can do stuff like this. In the offhand, she's using the Staff of Loss to boost up those night sorceries. The night combat, to be more precise. This thing is quite insane due to its non-input readable castings. Can just spam it willy-nilly when those openings on the enemy's movesets show up, and they won't even think to dodge it. It will be fun to see if there are any enemies in the Land of Shadows that may be able to see into these cheesy spells shenanigans. That would be quite the surprise. As a backup, she also has the fully upgraded Glintstone Chris, for when I don't want to spend too much of my limited flask of Cerulean Tears charges in order to lit up those lesser enemies that we'll find along the way to Mikola. Its Ash of War is quite FP efficient at doing that. For attire, she's taking advantage of Rogier's set and its sorcery boosting properties. No, we're definitely not using this humongous head for fashion. That's for sure.
Look at the top of his head!
Talismans are as follows. Magic Scorpion Charm, for better magic damage. Godfrey Icon, for better charged spell damage. Graven Mask Talisman, for better sorcery damage. And finally, Shard of Alexander, for better nebula damage. Rest in peace, buddy. You were the best part of all. Moving on to our Flask of Wondrous Physique, we have a combination of an Intelligence Knot Crystal tier and a Magic Shrouding Crack tier in order to boost all of our offensive kit. Sometimes you might want to replace the Intelligence boosting one for the Cerulean Hidden tier, or when we want to blast stuff into oblivion with our good old Comet de Jour. So, hopefully I might see you here, at June 21st, when it's finally time for us to experience this much awaited release. I intend to live stream it all here, on YouTube. So, if you're free when the time comes, come hang out a bit. Prior to that, I intend to do some technical testing of our streaming setup. I'll be doing a brand new Elden Ring save, with some minor extra challenge attached to it, while I tinker with OBS and other stuff. So if you'd like to see that, why not subscribe and activate that little bell thingy in order not to miss it when I go live. Your company would be much appreciated. Stick with us for a bit, and maybe you'll see how this little guy fares against the tyranny of Mesmer's fame.